Hello, this is Caitlin O'Shaughnessy, Senior Attorney at Murray Osorio. I have some tips for you today for your consular interview. So these tips are going to apply to immigrant visa interviews and non-immigrant visa interviews. So my first tip is that you should arrive early because there are so many steps for you to do before your actual consular interview. You need to have an extra copy of your visa appointment notice, because remember that your first encounter is going to be an armed guard. So having the document available with you is just going to make it smoother and reduce your stress levels. Then you're going to go through the equivalent of airport security. When you're going to a consular interview, you want to approach it as though you are meeting a US diplomat to determine whether you can go to the USA. So don't think of it as, oh, I'm just going to the embassy or the consulate to get my passport stamped. No, the interview is actually a really important part of the visa process. That being said, your interview will be about 90 seconds to maximum 3 minutes. So you don't have very long to make a good impression. I always recommend that you review the information that was in your forms. So in your DS-160 or your DS-260, make sure that you're familiar with everything in there. The number one question that you're going to get from the consular officer is probably going to be, what are you going to be doing in the United States? You need to be able to articulate the answer to this. So practice beforehand if you have to. So if you're going for a work visa, make sure you can explain to someone what it is you do for work and what you will be doing for work in the United States. If you're applying for a tourist visa, make sure you can explain your vacation plans or your plans to visit your family member or the conference that you're going to. You want to establish rapport with the officer that you're speaking with. So you want to make them want to help you. You want to pass the good neighbor test. You want to be someone that they want in the United States with them and their family. Remember that the consular officer is going to Google you. They're going to look up your LinkedIn and all your other social media. So you want to be aware of what you're posting on your social media and think critically. Make sure that there's nothing on your social media that might cause you issues at your visa interview. You also want to be prepared to discuss all the issues in your application, if there are any. So if there are issues like criminal issues or medical issues or previous denials, these are going to show up in bright red on the consular officer's screen. So there's no hiding them or pretending that they're not happening. In my opinion, it's best to just come at these issues from the outset. Say, I know that I have this issue. For example, yes, I smoked weed at a party 10 years ago and I was arrested for it, which I disclosed in my application. But I want you to know that since then I have become a mom to 3 beautiful children, or I have become the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And I'm really hoping that this won't derail my career, my family life, or whatever. Come in contrite and be brief. Don't make excuses. Finally, you want to bring your original documents with you. And remember that the consular officers don't usually want you to submit a bunch of extra documents. They're trained to interview people, not to review documents. So you can bring them, but don't shove them at the consular officer. You want to make your impression with yourself and your personality. Okay, hopefully those tips were helpful.